What up, pimps? It is Wednesday, April 2nd in the United States and Canada. This is a show called What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code What Chaos. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, run your game in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is David Bean. I sit beside Pete Blackburn, and across the room is Sean DePaz. Hi, Sean. You have the hottest team in hockey. How you feel about that?
I don't think that's true. I am not a St. Louis Blues fan. But the Sabres are winning hockey games, and that's unfortunate.
The Blues aren't hot. The Blues were hot like 4 games ago. Now they're in their new normal. The Sabres are hot. They've heated up. After a while, do I got to explain when you're in the hot tub, temperature stays the same, but you feel a little cool. That's the Sabres are right now, or the Blues are. They've cooled. Sabres are hot. Get over it.
The Vegas Golden Knights are hotter.
Okay, well, I've paid your team a compliment and said hello to you. I try to throw the ball around baseball season. Pete's over here going like this with his glove.
Well, you kept saying things, so I had to respond. I couldn't let you just lie about my Buffalo Sabres.
What I do has nothing to do with your behavior. Pete's dying for the ball, and you're over here doing that. He's doing the hidden ball trick.
You're out. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing great. Just been waiting for my chance to talk. Thanks, Sean. Guy doesn't like pimp. Guy doesn't let me talk. This guy sucks.
Sean's been in a bad mood lately, and we've talked to him about it. Every time we're not on the air, Pete and I are talking to Sean about why didn't you let us say pimp on this episode? Why'd you get mad? By the way, the results are in.
Pimp's in.
Overwhelming. Pimp is in. I was getting a lot of...
May as well spell it P-I-N-P because it is fucking in.
I was getting... Were your mentions anything about pimp?
Several pimps.
I tweeted about something that had nothing to do with the Oilers game last night. Someone responded, that Nuge pass was pimp, though. And it was. I think you had texted.
I texted. I did not... I regrettably did not describe it as pimp, but I said it was sick.
There were a lot of puns on... There were a lot of pimp puns on Calvin Pickard's name last night because he's... Yes, Sean?
Just for the record, you put a poll on the Instagram when you posted the reel about pimp, and it overwhelmingly is no to pimp.
Instagram's a child app.
Yeah, we don't go by social media numbers.
We're
Sean.
fudging the numbers, Sean.
Just saying.
No, Sean's fudging the numbers. He's
by telling the truth?
No, you're using the numbers that help your argument. This is a tale as old as time. This is very Trumpian.
We're eye test guys.
Yes.
Keep your analytics,
valid.
Sean. Fucking
Valid.
nerd.
Pimp seems to be back. Sean, Pete, can you tell the folks what's on the show today?
Would love to do it. Today on the show, we have wah wah. And the first one is pronounced wah, but it's spelled Roy because Patrick Wah, he's crying about his players.
Wah, wah.
Then we're going to talk misspoked B because the Bruins, they're coming off the spokes. 2 spokes to the Bruins. They suck.
Close. Somebody misspoke, we'll say, regarding the Boston Bruins. And at this point in the season, Wednesday, April 2nd in the United States and Canada, I'll say I think the Boston Bruins are in trouble. We'll get into it.
They're not back. Finally. No, not finally. We also have Blues Grooves. It's pretty good. Self-explanatory.
Blues Grooves.
We could also do Blues Clues because there are clues that the Blues are going to win the Stanley Cup again.
That's what I was going to do, Blues Clues, because we're going to explain why. Hey, they've won 10 games. They've cooled off. What's going on? How'd they get here? We have some clues.
We have some clues. We do have some clues. We're
Those
going
clues
to
was
do a
my
deep
shit.
dive into the Blues and their clues and why they're going to raise the cup again this year. And finally, the Sabres are hot.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Why unfortunately?
Sabres
They
are
are.
hot, derogatory.
I will not deny that part. They are hot. They're just not the hottest team in hockey.
Okay, last night the New York Islanders lost their 6th straight game. Anthony Duclair has no points in that stretch. Things are not going well for a team that is still kind of in-ish the playoff mix. They got 4 teams to jump if they want to get into it, but they are just 5 points behind the Montreal Canadiens for the second wild card spot. They are not out of it, but darn if their play doesn't seem to be pushing them in the wrong direction. Duclair, their free agent signing, 29 years old, year 1 of a 4-year deal, not on a high cap number, but still, this is a guy who's been around the league, has done a lot of stuff, got to a cup final a couple of years ago. They are looking for more out of him. Nothing doing these last 6 games, really nothing doing this season, and his ice time in these last 3, Pete, dropping. I don't know if there was an injury or what, but he had like a 10-plus minute stretch in the first period last night where he did not play. Now, I would love for us to see what Patrick Roy had to say about Anthony Duclair's play. But what Patrick Roy said about Anthony Duclair was so loaded, was so hot, that the New York Islanders scrubbed it. You know this?
I mean, you told me this morning, and it's bad behavior. Like, the quotes are all out there this morning. It's like the only thing that anybody's talking about this morning is how Roy ripped a new one for Anthony Duclair, and you don't think people are going to go like search for that and find that it's not there?
It just seems like a PR 101 kind of failure. It should just be like, I know this was said in a room full of journalists that definitely recorded it, but we're going to cut it out so no one can see it.
Well,
and only make it look worse.
This is why in the newfangled age of, what was the thing you were talking about, Sean? Instagram polls? Whatever Sean's doing to win to what
elections.
With politics. Yeah. Sean
rigged the poll.
Dominion voting machines.
I demand a recount.
Big conservative who's going all around to
Stop the steal.
Yeah, the whole thing. Fortunately, in today's age of social media teams and content teams and controlling the narrative, the important hallmarks, the pillars of our democracy still exist. I'm talking about radio because this was broadcast on the radio, this press conference. So we do have the audio of Patrick Roy.
This is very innovative. Like you're going back in time, but it's also very innovative because we're putting radio on the internet.
ROI.
Yes.
All right. Silicon Valley. Sean, could you please play, thanks to the radio, the audio of Patrick Roy discussing his prized second line right wing?
And Duclair played only a little over 12 minutes.
He was god-awful. He was god-awful. He had a bad game. That's why I didn't play him a lot. And he's lucky to be in the lineup. Sorry if I lose it on him right now, but that's how I feel.
Just what are you seeing that he's not doing?
He's not skating. He's not competing. He's not moving his feet. He's not playing up to what we expect from him.
Do you feel like that's an effort thing?
I think it's an effort thing.
Wow.
Okay, not amazing. Don't love it.
It's our guy.
We want to go
Not
there.
Patrick
We can
Roy.
say it's bad optics.
Why?
Because if you're the Islanders and you've lost 6 games in a row, I know that he was asked specifically about one player who is not playing well, and we want coaches to be honest, but he was like, I fucking hate this guy.
Pretty much. It's crazy. The silver lining here, though, is like free our guy. We hated that he went to the Islanders.
Yes.
Famously been on the show. We love having him on the show. Unfortunately, there are a few teams that don't let us speak to their players. New York Islanders might be one of them. So all bad things to them, and free the cool guys from that team.
Okay, Sean, thoughts?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, really, if Duclair's been sucking as bad as he seems to have been sucking.
So herein lies the rub. Anthony Duclair, in the last 2 months, has only 11 points. Like, that's not what you want.
No.
That is horrible. The only thing that would be worse would be if he only had 11 points on the season. And I was just lying to you. Anthony Duclair has 11 points this season.
It's very bad.
So that strikes you as, Jesus, what did this guy do to you? Why do you hate this man? And then you look at the stats and you're like, oh my God. Anthony Duclair has been a horrible signing for the New York Islanders. It brings me no joy because, as you said, we love the guy. The guy's building hockey rinks in Florida. Just good for the sport. Had a laugh with us. Talked about Sexy Red. But I still say it's going a little far to be like, he's god-awful. He's not trying.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And like clearly the Islanders agree. They scrubbed the video.
Right.
So like they know that he went too far, and it's just like it's a bad situation. I feel like I still stand by free our guy because it seems like he very much is not a fit there. Needs a change of scenery. And if Patrick Waugh is sticking around, he definitely doesn't want an Anthony Duclair on his team at this point.
Last year in 17 games with the Tampa Bay Lightning after being acquired from the San Jose Sharks at the deadline, Anthony Duclair far outperformed what he has done in 44 games with the New York Islanders this season. Yes, he was hurt for a little bit, but 7 goals and 4 assists for 11 points when you are playing a lot of top 6 minutes. I saw somebody put out that he is the worst top 6 forward in the NHL this season. I would need more graphics and stats to back that up. Ear test? That sounds about right.
I mean, 11 points in 44 games, minus 15. Like, none of that looks good.
That's bad for a third liner. It's fine for a fourth liner. That is horrible.
How much is he making again?
$3.5 million. So not prohibitive.
It's not.
He's being paid.
Cap's going up.
Yeah, cap's going up. He's being paid like a third liner.
Yeah.
And he's playing like a
fringe NHL player.
Fourth liner.
I was going to say first liner for the AHL affiliate. The Bridgeport Sound Tigers, right? Is that who they got?
That's what they used to be. I don't know what they are anymore.
Okay, half full. I'll still say, you lose 6 games in a row. I don't like the idea of going that hard on one guy. Like, imagine if it was the goalie.
Yeah, well, I mean, the goalie, I think it would be a lot more obvious. Like, we'd all be like, yeah, this guy must suck.
But I'm saying if you lose 6 games in a row and you're like, we don't get saves. That's the thing. He wouldn't even be saying we don't get saves. He'd say our goaltending is terrible or our goalie is terrible. That's how pointed it was.
It also just doesn't seem like it's going to help solve the problem by throwing a guy under the bus in the public and having everybody talk about how bad he's been this season. Like, that is largely flown under the radar for us and for I'm guessing a lot of other people how bad Anthony Duclair has been. Like, maybe this is a kick in the pants. Maybe that's his intention with it. Maybe he's trying to switch something up by just throwing him under the bus. But also, like, a lot of the times that doesn't help. It only adds more pressure and makes guys feel worse coming to the rink every day.
Yeah, that floored me. And if you're Anthony Duclair, you're on your 9th team. I was saying to Sean before the show, like, guy bounces around the league that much. At some point, you got some people agreeing that his motor isn't there the whole time. So, is it an effort thing? That's where I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Don't go and say some shit that's going to lose you the player forever. And I think that Patrick Waugh, short of saying like, oh, and off the ice, he's a bad guy, pretty much unloaded the clip.
Well, I mean, famously, we don't know Patrick Waugh to be a very emotional guy. So this is very out of character. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
But has he ever gone that far on a player?
He's not coaching wise as far as I can remember.
I mean, I'm trying to think this season, has anybody been like, this guy sucks this much? And we're biased because friend of the show, but
not in front of a microphone.
I was going to say not in
John
public.
Tortorella got fired last week, and stuff's coming out about his relationship with Cam York and how a big blow-up incident with Cam York definitely factored into John Tortorella being fired pretty unceremoniously from Philadelphia. And the stuff that's coming out about that seems like suggested that was also very, very ugly. So we're just in the era of coaches hating their players right now.
Right, but Torts isn't even doing that though. Torts is doing it behind closed doors, getting in intense altercations. Is that how Elliot Friedman deemed it?
Elliot Friedman said verbal, not physical, but still intense.
I mean,
Never good when you have to specify that it was not physical.
hey, those two did not strike each other. It's
As
all
much
good.
as it sounds like they might have. By the way, they're the Bridgeport Islanders. They're no longer the Sound Tigers.
Is chat saying that that's Lou's fault?
Yeah,
Point
it out.
That's extremely stupid because Bridgeport is not an island.
Precisely.
Okay.
Extremely cool stuff, Lou.
Yeah.
No. So Kevin Kurz about the John Tortorella incident also said that it was told to him that, quote, they probably both crossed the line. And then the Chicklets guys, I guess we're talking about it this week. Yandel said that York was taking it for a while and Torts got personal with him and unloaded on him last week. And then Whitney said he heard that Torts was telling him, if you resign here, I will bury you.
That's fine.
What?
I will bury you in the ground, Eli.
Splash around in
You
the air.
cannot tell one of your players that if they resign there, that you will bury them.
Yeah, I mean,
You should probably say it in different words.
yes, I mean, we're talking about if a coach says to somebody, I will bury you, it means you will not play. It means I will bury you in the lineup.
You don't know that with Torts.
True, but I never get, outside of if I'm an opposing coach, like I don't think that Torts is like striking his players. I think that the Torts is maybe doing some psychological warfare on them. But even so, I've seen so much from Torts the last few years that I'm like, he has his players back so much. Is he really gonna like fuck with them psychologically that much? We've talked so much the last couple of years about like, has he turned a new leaf?
Yeah, chat's saying that they're assuming that Whitney was paraphrasing, not directly quoting Torts when he says, I will bury you.
Yeah, it does sound like something he would say a lot.
Yeah.
What,
Whit
Whit?
would say
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes,
Like, I will
okay.
bury you.
Now, and I can't
Even
say.
still, like, you shouldn't tell a player that, like, if they resign here, you will not play.
I disagree with that.
Well,
yes,
I think
no,
you
go ahead,
should
Sean.
play better. Like,
Well,
you should be
but
opening the door to be like, if you continue playing like this and you resign here, you will not play.
yeah, fair, but
That's
like
some parenting ass shit.
I mean, you've seen it a lot in college recently where like I would argue that the right thing to do is tell somebody that like you are not a part of our plans. So if you re-sign here, like you're going to be wasting your time and your career.
But based
Like-
off the fact that like everybody was talking about it as like an intense
Yeah.
altercation that crossed the line and
No,
then it led to
I
Torts'
agree with
firing,
that part.
I
Like,
feel like the energy behind it was probably not like for your benefit. You should not re-sign here.
well, I agree with that part. Like I said at the beginning, like you probably should say it in different words, but I don't, in a vacuum, I don't have a problem with a coach being honest with a player and being like,
Sure.
I am not going to play you. Do not resign.
There's constructive
Yes.
honesty, and then there's being.
It does sound
an
like you may have
asshole.
taken it too
So
far.
I don't think that's being an asshole though, because at that point, if you say to a player like, "Don't come back here," if you come back here, you won't have a job. That's not coaching anymore. That is telling somebody respectfully, you're fired.
Yeah,
That's
but
not his decision to begin with, though.
I
I
mean,
mean, I guess impartially it may have been.
Well,
because
but I think
it
that's
tips
brought
the
in
scales.
Torts.
that's kind of the point of why Torts would have to say this, because he's fully aware that he cannot control whether or not he re-signs there, but he is fully in control about whether or not he plays if he does. I will say that like the energy behind it does make a difference in the sense that if Torts is getting up there and being like, you're dog shit, you're not an NHL player, you can't be an NHL player, don't even bother, you should retire type of thing, well, that's too far. But like if he's being honest with him and being like, you're not my kind of player, I will not play you that much, you will not have an opportunity, like there's
even
a certain level where the honesty should be appreciated.
Even that first part though sounds more like coaching, because if you say like, you're dog shit, you are not an NHL player. Player can be like, I'll fucking show you. I'm going to fuck it. You play me on the fucking fourth line 1 second a game. Doesn't matter. I'm going to give you the hardest fucking second you have ever seen, and I'm going to keep getting more and more and more. But if you're just straight up like, look, like I don't know what to tell you, man. You don't have a job here.
I just looked it up to be sure. Even if that is what he's trying to do, that's not how you talk to a 24-year-old in 2025.
Yes,
It's
and
just-
therein lies a lot of the Torts, the
right.
modern
Exactly.
Torts conversation,
Yeah.
which is, does he know how to communicate with these people? I need to also note in defense of Ryan Whitney, or to clarify, Ryan Whitney is a There Will Be Blood guy. So if he's saying like, I will bury you, maybe that's just like
off a rewatch.
how he talks.
Yeah. He's off a rewatch. Yeah, I mean, like it's tough with the Torts situation because again, he didn't say it in front of a microphone, and so we don't know for sure. At least we know for sure what Patrick Waugh is saying to Anthony Duclair. Whether you can say it's a good thing for us as a podcast, probably a bad thing for Anthony Duclair and that whole situation.
I bet Patrick Waugh isn't saying a fucking word to Anthony Duclair.
Well, okay, that's what I was going to kind of say. It's like the opposite side of the things. We don't know what conversations he's had with him off, like not behind a mic. So this could have been like a Hail Mary type of thing where he's been trying to coach him, trying to get him to play better, trying to tell him he needs to put in more effort, and he hasn't. So now you have nowhere else to go but to do it publicly.
What's going through Duclair's mind? I mean, 29 years old. As I said, he's on his 9th team. He came so close to winning the cup a couple of years ago. This sucks.
Year 1 of the contract, that really hurts.
You are looking down 4 years of absolutely no fun. Although I want to save this conversation for maybe after the season, but I've been kicking around like, who are the guys that signed last year that are getting traded? Who is the next Pierre-Luc Dubois? And I've got somebody in mind, but like at some point we got to start filing away a little list of guys who have gotten places or stayed places, wink, wink, and it's not working out. And they end up being the guy that helps unlock another team's capitalism. Washington capitalism, I'm talking about. It's an interesting conversation. So chat, everybody, file it away. Think about it. Is Anthony Duclair going to be moved this offseason? And can maybe he help somebody the way that a lot of these misfits have helped the Washington Capitals? Other stuff from last night. Karel Vejmelka gets a win in his 18th straight start. 18 straight starts. Sean and I have been banging the Vejmelka for Hart drum for, I don't know, 6 straight starts now?
I think it would have started. I think it started around 12.
Yeah, right around 12. We were like, it started off as a joke, but now, man, like.
Now he's got to give him the heart.
I mean, at the very least, heart and soul.
Yeah. I was going to say at the very least Vezina, but yeah, that too.
Do you know what his save percentage? I put it in the rundown. Hopefully Pete hasn't peeked. Can people guess what his save percentage is in this stretch?
I also haven't seen it.
Okay, give it to him.
$8.99.
Oh, I was going to guess
so not
901.
Good. 1 point away from being good. if he had 1 point better, then he would be 18-0.
Honestly, like, yeah, right. Depending on what team he plays for. I know, like $8.99 is honestly in today's NHL not horrible, especially when you're talking about 18 straight starts.
Yeah, I mean, the guy should be absolutely burnt out. I do love that he's starting to get recognition, not for the heart as Sean and I want, but people are taking more note of like, damn, wow, how's he doing this? Do we have a super chat? Speaking of Utah Hockey Club, from Clubbers Till We Die, DJ, you reposting Utah fans going berserk went off on our Psycho Clubber fan chat. We make no sense at what we love, and we are on board with it. I mean, we're clubbers. You know that. I fucked up. I should have included this in our media assets for today, but I sent it in the group. Sean, did you see the, I think Cole Bagley, is that our guy?
Yeah.
Posted an item that the Utah Hockey Club is selling. There it is, Sean. Utah Hockey Club is selling a commemorative piece of merch that, as somebody who owns the Dylan Gunther scored the first goal in Utah Hockey Club history t-shirt, I want so bad. It is the stupidest item.
Oh, that is so dumb.
That I have come across. Sean's loading it up, and we're going to get into it and probably make it the rest of the show. Sean, you want to throw it up? That is you see it says there, Utah Hockey Club, and then you see in big letters, Original 6. What? What does this mean? Original 6? I don't think they're one of the original. I thought they weren't they into the 30s? No, those are 6 pucks commemorating the, quote, historic original 6 games. So the first puck is the Blackhawks. The 6th one you see is the Red Wings. You got the Rangers in there. You got the Habs. You got the Boston Bruins. You got the Maple Leafs. They are selling an item that I believe is $200.
What?
Sean, could you?
There's no way
we
that
get
could
a
be
price check?
$200.
Retails at $200 from Cole
Oh
Bagley.
my God.
The original 6 games.
If you spend $200 on that, you should go to jail.
Okay,
Well,
so a couple things.
then
It's
fucking call the police, Karen, because I'm getting it.
limited edition, only 250.
Good.
It'll-
Make it less limited.
I gotta know.
More limited.
This seems like a very sturdy sign. Like it seems like it's very thick. It's beveled, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Oh,
The quality of the build does not make it any less stupid in
Well,
its ideology.
but it makes it worth more money.
It's a good piece.
I kind of like it.
It's a
I'm
good
not gonna
piece.
lie. I don't know
Fucking
why.
The stupidest thing I've ever
But
seen in my life.
That's what Utah should be, man. Utah should be like kind of dumb sometimes.
Utah doesn't have a team name, but they're co-opting Original 6. I love that.
So stupid.
No.
Coming from the guy who hates faux backs more than anything,
This isn't
like
faux back.
faking history.
It's not faking history. This is
This
history.
is faking history.
They
It's
did do
inserting
this.
yourself into the Original 6. It's the meme of get in there and make it about you. And
It's their price of merch. It's all about them.
I'm sorry, Pete. Who were the first 6 opponents for the Utah Hockey Club, Pete? I'm sorry.
the first 6?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I think it was the 6 that are on there. This is all real. Ain't a lie told.
What? Wait, what? I don't.
This is the
You're making-
stupidest thing I've ever
Pete's
seen in
making
my
it like
life.
they're making up the Original 6.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like
Those are
all
real.
of this.
They're
That
making themselves a part of the Original 6 for
They're
no
ma-
reason.
They're making the Original 6 a part of them. They are kind enough to include the Original 6, most of which are not relevant, into their history.
They're showing up to the Original 6 party wearing some fancy new clothes and sticking their hands in their pockets and saying, "Hey guys, can we hang out with you?"
No, they walked up.
This is the least cool thing. I've been so on board. I've been so on board with Utah Hockey Club this entire year. The fan base, the team. I've even come around on the jerseys, coming around on the branding. I've come around on everything.
Clearly.
This is the shit that pisses me off. I hate
5-2,
this.
5-4 in OT, 6-5 in OT, 3-0, 5-4 loss in OT, 2-1 win in OT. Pete, these games happened, and you got to know about them.
Hate it so much.
I mean, I brought this up because I wanted to say how stupid is this, but
It's dumb,
if we were
and I
given
like it.
If we were given it, if I had like a Sean setup, I would have that in the background. Maybe like home office.
I think-
Autographed Zach Hyman gold chart, Utah Hockey Club Original 6. And Sean did note correctly, it is a good build.
It looks.
This-
That's
it
a
looks
good build.
This
sturdy.
So Rogue Wave Creative says tech bro idea, and that's it has the energy of tech bro idea. The only way that I would come around on this is if they were in on the joke, and it does not seem like they're in on the joke, especially for $200.
I also saw the tweet on April Fool's Day, and I was like, this is a tough one because I feel like some people would be into this. So is this a joke? And I don't see Cole as much of a prankster.
Yeah, right. Ranking the things that came out yesterday on April Fool's Day that like seemed like an April Fool's Day joke but weren't. This has got to be number 2, but number 1 is the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel that's being made and directed by David Fincher.
I'm still not excited about it because my brain is not letting me believe it. Even though I was in multiple group chats that sent it and they were like, yes. Oh, fuck. It's April 1st. Oh, goddamn.
You did that to
Jack,
me.
Bob, I did it
And
to
I
you.
felt like
Sent
such
to
a
me.
bozo.
And
sent
I was
it
like,
to you, the biggest
buddy.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood fan in my life. I sent it to you so excited that I could break the news. And you responded, April Fool's Day, ? And I was like, fuck, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it was true.
And throughout the night, like Pete's sending me updates. He's like, this is real. And it's going to be the best when it comes out, but I can't totally believe it. Somebody, I think it was Clubbers, who could be lying, said that it's sold out.
In 5 minutes.
If this is
Could be
true,
lying.
I mean, we know about Utah Hockey Club selling shit out in 5 minutes.
That's true.
You had to customize a Dylan Gunther jersey because you couldn't get your hands on one of those.
Clubbers
bad boys.
also said that like Utah is all about belligerently ignorant fandom, and
Yeah, man.
that I can absolutely get behind. But again, that kind of suggests that they're in on the joke, and they're not in on the joke here. But if the fans are in on the joke, then like by all means, have fun with it. Selling that for $200, just like I hate it so much.
So where does this fall on a scale of 1 to Dylan Gunther scored the first goal t-shirt?
Oh, like so in the chats, Dacky says like you need to start a What Chaos Hall of Fame, and if like that would be a like necessary item for the What Chaos Hall of Fame.
I'm not kidding. I do want
stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, I want it in here or my home office. And do we just jack that idea?
Just make one.
We do have some good relationships with woodworkers. Do we have them do an original 6 guests? Do we have them? Do we make things off of that?
The first guest from each original 6 team, and we just never get the Canadian ones.
Who are our first original 6 guests off the top of your head?
The first 6 guests?
Yes. Okay.
I mean,
you do like
Marchand,
we
Swayman,
know that
Omar.
like
Marchand.
You know that like the chat's trying to clarify too is that like you know that it's not their first 6 games.
Yeah,
it is their first.
Oh,
game
those were games against original 6
opponents.
Yeah, not their first 6 games. Yeah,
I hate that then.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
thought that. So I thought they were like.
This
just
is
jumping on original 6 to be like, remember our first 6 games? Because that famously is what Utah Club does. I've got the clothing to prove it.
Yeah, no.
Out on this now.
Historic original 6 games. That's why I think it's so stupid. They're asking to join like the actual original 6 and getting in there and making it about them.
If you look closely, their first game was against the Blackhawks, so that was opening night.
Right, so that's why. And I remember they played Boston early in the season.
Yeah, so then they have Boston on October 19th, 2024, the Canadiens on January 14th, 2025, the Rangers on January 16th, Leafs on March 10th, and the Red Wings on March 24th. So these are just games throughout the season.
Okay, so
they've probably been sitting on this all season. They're like, wait, I can't wait till that March 24th 100%. Game that we can put this out.
The original 6 woodwork piece is at 96%.
Yeah,
they're waiting just like weeks to be able to put that final puck in there. Yeah, this makes me out on that. And quite frankly, I think we can all agree the original 6 thing, maybe some bias here, maybe in favor of, but like the original 6 thing is overrated at this point.
I mean, it's cool. Like
we were just talking about this, right? Like how other leagues just don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like I'm not going to dump on the original 6. It's just I find it weird when people like wear original 6 merch or like when it's branded as much as it is.
We've been to a couple of original 6 pro shops, and I've always been like, if you are a Red Wings fan or a Bruins fan, why are you wearing that over Bruins merch?
Right.
Or
right. Like the original 6 have among the there isn't an original 6 team with bad branding, right? Bruins amazing, Canadians amazing, Leafs maybe the best.
And that's part of the reason I think that the original 6 is so cool is because like the branding is great. There's a lot of history, obviously, but also like they haven't changed their branding for the most part.
The Bruins have changed their stuff around the most, and they have not much.
Yeah. I mean,
Bruins
I think that's
and
probably
the Leafs,
true.
I guess.
Yeah, I think probably either one of those two.
Okay, this is what the show should be.
I just can't.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
Apologies to the Canadians. We had a lot to talk. Nick Suzuki went dry saddle mode last night. We're not getting to it today.
I just can't believe that you were so in on it, even based on what you thought it was.
Yeah, your interpretation of it was so wrong.
It was only because I saw. I mean, it was stupid. I did a little stupid.
No, I don't have. I completely get why you were confused. It's funny to me that the difference
took you out on it. Yeah, I mean, you saw the Blackhawks as the first one.
Yeah, and that was their first game.
I'm like, that's great. I thought that it was because this makes it less weird. This makes it.
Oh no, this makes it way more
maybe
weird.
More stupid, but less weird. I think just shouting out your first 6 games because original 6 is a thing in hockey is so cool to me.
That is much more of a joke.
Right. That has way more energy of being in on the joke.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I thought they were doing. Bragging that you have played teams that
are in the league.
The CBA mandates you play.
Every team who has ever joined the league has played against the original 6.
The one thing I will say about this is that
trivia, who is the most recent team to do it?
To do what?
The Utah Hockey Club.
Oh. The one thing I will say is that a lot of these fans were probably hockey fans before. And so they're coming into it with like not having had a team, kind of having a general appreciation of the NHL, the original six being kind of a big deal. So like I get the thought process behind thinking this might be something that Utah Hockey Club fans are interested in.
I don't like it. It's the stupidest piece of merch all year long.
That's
we
why
can agree on that, right?
I think it's funny as shit. But yeah, it's dumb. It's very dumb.
I think we've seen more merch than any podcast in hockey can confidently say. This is the dumbest piece of memorabilia and merch in the NHL this season. Put a stamp on it.
We have not. We can't get this piece now. I was going to say we got to get the piece when I thought it was,
but
do we?
To my point, like it being so stupid that you're out on it makes it, I think, even more necessary for us to have it if we were to have like a Hall of Fame.
Anybody who has seen Utah Pro Shop Wars, make sure you subscribe to YouTube and watch it. We've yet to unveil that we mashed together a Bear Utah Jazz doll with some like weird ass thing that had a mini Utah Hockey Club jersey. We're going to mash that together and we're going to have it on the set. Why? What's to stop us from getting this piece and getting like making bootleg pucks of the first 6 games of the season? So we still keep the
first 6 games of like the NHL season.
Yeah, we keep the Blackhawks one, and then the second one, which I think they have Boston.
Change
to the Islanders.
Season.
No, you can't.
Rangers we keep.
You can't spend
Devils.
$200 on a ridiculous item just to make it less ridiculous.
I'll tell you
what,
what,
against the spirit of the show.
We'd only have to change 4 pucks because they did play in their first 6 games of the season. They famously played the Blackhawks to kick it off, and their 6th game was against Boston. So we just got to get the Islanders, the Rangers, the Devils, the Ducks in there.
Are those all home games?
No.
Because I think these are all home games. Like these are the home
Any
games
more
they played
fucking rules we want to add to this, Utah? Come on, you're killing me.
Oh, I was going to say.
All I'll say is I'm very, very, very glad that this item was not available in the Pro Shop when we did Pro Shop Wars in Utah, because it would have been so difficult to keep our voices down as we absolutely hammer the Utah Hockey Club and trash them for the stupidest piece of merch and the dumbest idea I've seen in a Pro Shop.
But you know I would have bought that.
Yes.
People in the chat are making a good point.
You would have bought that and then had to check an extra bag.
I was going to say
it would have come to like $290.
Trying to ship it or get it back would have been. People in the chat are pointing out that not every team plays all original 6 teams, because the original 6 only play 5 of them.
Wow.
So the original 6 can never say that they've played.
They don't have to force original 6 merch.
They're the ones that force it more than anybody.
Well, they don't have to force it. They're part of the original 6.
That's fair. That's fair. But they could never do this.
Let's get to a slate grade. I kid. The show.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, man.
I was like, we didn't talk that long, did we?
Although we do only have an hour today, so we're going to have to speed through. And let me tell you about Shady Rays. Shady Rays, the #1 things to put on your face. The original 6 lenses. That's what I call my trio. That's what I call my sunglasses drawer at my home. It's just a bunch of Shady Rays glasses. They are an independent company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They probably have a style in your favorite team's colors. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code AC35 for 35% off. Polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself these shades, rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Apologies if I sound a little sick. I'm a little sick this week, and I think it's probably because I didn't take my Mito Pure.
Where's my Mito Pure?
That's what I say when I wake up and I can't find it.
I can't find it
I
anywhere.
don't have my glasses and I can't find my Mito Pure. Timeline.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Timeline. Our friends at Timeline, they sell health and longevity supplements that feature the proprietary Mito Pure ingredient. You're asking, what is Mito Pure? Why are these guys talking about it and how much they need it? Mito Pure works with the cells in your body to help reverse age-related decline. We're all experiencing that. We're all getting older. We're all kind of dying slowly. The benefits of Mito Pure include increased strength, energy, and endurance. And they've got 15 plus years of research and 30 plus patents to back their products. So you go to the Timeline website, you'll find a bunch of great products that help the cells in your body, and you should be helping those cells in your body because they're the building blocks of life. They help to give you more energy, feel stronger during your workouts, preserve your health and mobility as you start to age, and they just kind of reverse the aging process. We're all looking for that. Some people like John Tavares, they're looking at amulets, but you should look at MitoPure because it recharges the cells and helps your body's systems to work better. So right now, Timeline, they're giving you 10% off your order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/chaos today to get started. That's timeline.com/chaos to get 10% off your order of MitoPure.
The St. Louis Blues have won 10 games in a row. My goodness, they have now surpassed, in terms of points, they have surpassed the Minnesota Wild for the number one wild card, although by points percentage, they're neck and neck. Minnesota
just calls it the card.
That's true. I apologize. Minnesota is looking for the North card, though. They need to move back up.
That's right.
They're in the South card right now. So by points percentage, they still are in line for the North card, the Minnesota team. But for now, the Blues, having won 10 games in a row, are your Western Conference number one wild card in terms of points. They are on a heater's heater in this span since March 15th. Second in the NHL in goals per game, 4.1, which is second only to the Lightning. By far the best goals against average in the league, 1.4. Next best is Kings at 1.8. Their PK is, or their power play, I should say, is ninth in the NHL, 24.1%. Their penalty kill is best in the league at 90.5. I will get into the individual performances that are going on right now, but Jim Montgomery got those fellas scorching.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part of this, even bigger than like the record or whatever, is that they found their new Gloria.
Oh, yeah.
They found their new Gloria. Like everybody's making the comparison. 2019, the Blues got hot in the second half. They rode it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. They won the Stanley Cup. Can they do it again this year? Maybe.
Sean said yes.
They have their new thing.
Sean said yes.
Blueprint.
What's that?
So they're following the blueprint.
I mean, Sean was saying it when the
Bluesprint.
When the
Yes.
Bruins fired
Blues.
Jim Montgomery, Sean was buying stonks in the Blues.
I did say that. It was much more of a joke at the time, but yeah, I mean, they're doing the exact same thing. Why am I to not believe that they can do it again?
So let's pull a New York Islanders and we'll scrub the video of you saying it because people will be able to tell when you're being sarcastic. That classic Sean wit. Let's just do a straight transcript. And I'm sure from those episodes, Blues winning the cup. Good point, Sean. Not bad.
To specify, the new Gloria is Jobu from Major League, because after the Four Nations break, Jobu just apparently showed up in the St. Louis Blues locker room. Nobody's saying the origin story. Nobody's explaining how it got there. But since Jobu showed up after the Four Nations and got his own stall home and away in St. Louis, or for the Blues, they are 16-2-2. They're outscoring opponents 76-41. And his locker is placed next to Zach Bolduc. And Zach Bolduc has 10 goals since the Four Nations break. I think he's second or tied for first, or he's one of the Blues' top scorers since Jobu showed up.
Mercy me. What an impact. You want to get into some of these numbers? I'll give it to you. Since March 15th, when this 10-game stretch began, Jordan Kyrou tied for tops in the league with 8 goals. Going to ask you a trivia question off that in a little bit. Robert Thomas, second in the league with 19 points. Only who better?
Nikita Kucherov.
Dylan Holloway, third in the league with 15 points. Only who better?
Say again? Sorry.
Dylan Holloway is not tied. Third in the league with 15 points over the last 10 games.
So Nikita Kucherov
and
Robert Thomas.
Very good, Pete.
Thank
he
you.
knows puck. Jordan Binnington, second only to
Karel Vejmelka in starts.
Andrei Vasilevsky in save percentage. 940. Vasilevsky is at 942. The trivia question that I wanted to give you, Kyrou tied for tops in the league with 8 goals. With whom is this young man tied?
Leon Draisaitl.
Good guess. No. Not MVP material. Nathan McKinnon. Who is tied with Jordan Kyrou?
8 goals.
8 goals.
In how many? In what stretch?
Since March 15th. This is a player on a playoff team. This is a very big name player.
Alex Ovechkin?
No. Although, much like Alex Ovechkin, this is a player with experience being captain of a team.
Who is it?
Let's say he doesn't have current experience being captain of a team.
Brad Marchand?
Nope.
I was going to say that math doesn't math.
Has experience being captain of his current team.
John Tavares?
John Tavares.
Oh, right. I mean, Tavares has been really
Scorcher.
good. Yeah.
So how can we make this about the Leafs? Congratulations to John Tavares for playing as well as Jordan Kyrou. I had a mini panic attack last night when I realized that we might have seasons that back-to-back Conn Smythe winners might be Connor McDavid and Dylan Holloway, and the Oilers would have no cups to show for it. Because that at this point is just Dylan Holloway is a fucking stud.
Broberg too.
And we all thought that both these guys were going to be good. Hand up, nobody except Bob Stauffer thought that Dylan Holloway was going to be like a star, like first line. I know that he doesn't always play on the first line wing.
Yeah, over a point per game since the break. And I mean Broberg too. You look at Broberg. Broberg is a first pairing defenseman.
Yes.
And has been unbelievable. Like the Broberg Falk pairing has allowed 5 goals at 5-on-5 in their last 20 games.
Massive credit to Doug Armstrong, and massive. Obviously, we've kicked Ken Holland around for months over that, but we were talking before the show. Other teams should have been more in on this. This was an absolute theft.
2 other teams get to say we tried.
Blue Jackets?
Blue Jackets and Calgary Flames get to say we tried because they gave the offer sheets as well. And every other team fucked up.
Well, Calgary Flames should not be offer sheeting anybody ever again, just in case, after the Ryan O'Reilly incident. Just got to make sure they don't accidentally give away.
If you're the Flames and you do it correctly and you can steal like 2 of the Oilers players, like imagine imagine if the Oilers players went to
Battle of Alberta
would
have rocked so much harder.
The Oilers would be so fucking mad and so furious. Like they're still furious as they should be. But if they went to Calgary, oh my God. But
Dylan Holloway from
Calgary,
Alberta.
That's true, yeah. Same as Tate McRae.
Do you think this is going to just like open the floodgates?
So that was the next question.
On offer sheets this offseason? Because Clubber has brought up Utah needing to offer sheet Nyes, and I don't know about Utah specifically, but like Nyes does seem like the kind of guy that teams might want to offer sheet.
100%.
Nyes and Marner in Utah, I'm disrobing.
Nyes in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
No, I mean, do it more. I've said forever that the whole, like, they're afraid of making people mad thing is bullshit, way overstated. It's more about inflation. But, Pete.
Cap's going up.
Who cares about inflation? Deal with that shit later. And
future me problem.
All these, what's that?
I said future me problem.
This sounds like a problem for future Don Sweeney's replacement.
This sounds like a problem for, whoever replaces Kevin Adams.
Yes, exactly. This sounds like a problem for future Kevin Adams' successor.
I gotta ask because I don't know the answer myself. Like the stipulations on offer sheeting, I assume that they have to do with the percentage of the cap. Not like the hard numbers. Like if you offer a contract over a certain number, it determines the compensation that you have to give to. I'm assuming that's tied to percentage of the cap.
No, it is tied to what the number is. It's set every year. It's what the number is, and it is the total number divided by years or 5, whichever is smaller. So the offer sheet cap number isn't always the same cap number as the actual contract. And they do that to make the offer sheet cap number higher and make it more difficult to sign players away, which is why what Doug Armstrong did was a savvy piece of work. He, I think, legitimately gave the very, very tippity top maximum of the tier that made Broberg a second-round pick and that made Holloway a third-round pick. I want to say that it was 4.9 or something for Broberg and 2.9 for Dylan Holloway. And if it was higher than that, then you would have been looking at, I think, 1 first-round pick for Broberg. I'm not positive on that, but they do calculate it that way to make it a little more prohibitive and to make GMs think an extra second longer before offer sheeting guys. But I'm all for more offer sheets. It makes teams take care of their players. Like Holland obviously has now written a book on how not to handle guys that are coming up on RFA and see if other teams do it. I would love if we end up talking about Matthew Nyes in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how does this affect the
Maple Leafs?
How does this affect the GM of the Year award? Like, would you throw in Armstrong as a strong candidate there?
I mean, Caps and Blues are the two.
Well,
how did that happen?
Caps, Blues, and then I would also throw in Chris McFarland from
Yes.
Colorado. Like,
I mean,
completely different team.
Chris McFarland, I said, deserves the heart more than Nathan McKinnon does.
But here's the thing about the Caps is that their GM is no longer the GM of the team.
Yes, fair.
Which, or I guess like the GM who would deserve the award is no longer GM of the team. And that's like, has a GM ever won the award without being an active GM?
A posthumous.
Yes, while still being alive.
Is that the correct
Gotta
word, Sean?
clarify.
I mean, it is if you're implying that he's dead. Yeah. Which in spirit, I guess he kind of is. So yeah, sure.
He's passed on to a different role, something like that.
Yes.
Okay, so that ended up becoming Blues talk, but also Blueprint talk,
Yeah.
because Doug Armstrong has shown teams how to do it. You just wait for 2 top 10 draft pick star players who have proven in the postseason that they're really good, and you just take them. I'll do 1 second on the Oilers and say, I've said for now a couple of years, the Oilers' biggest thing in roster construction has to be find Ekholm's replacement. Find Ekholm's replacement. You need to have an eventual number 1 defenseman. Sucks
let him
they
go.
had it,
Yeah.
and there he was. So there goes that.
Now you have Jake Wallman, goal
Now-
scorer.
Wallman's awesome, man. Wallman's cool as shit. Like, I was thinking, if we do a conversation, like, what were the dumbest things that teams did in the offseason?
Giving
Obviously,
away Jake
number
Wallman and
1
attaching a pick to it.
is sleeping on the RFAs for the Oilers, but that is a longer term thing. Just giving away Jake Wallman, really, really dumb. Paying a team to take him, really, really dumb. Let's do a second on the Boston Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres, because the Bruins lost their 9th straight game. They now have top 5 draft pick lottery odds, which means that they've got a better than 50% chance of having a top 5 pick, and that their chances of the first overall pick are what, 8.5%? Not bad, Pete. I told you they were going to pass the Sabres. I thought it was going to be like by year's end. They did that shit in a second because the Sabres are hot now.
I just wish that I could get so much more excited about this if it was next year's draft. Like, everybody's talking about how this year's draft is not that good.
Yeah, and I don't like the idea that this is going to be a have to make a decision pick. Like the Blackhawks last year had to make a decision at number 2 that I'm already horrified they fucked up, because Zeev Buium might end up being better than Artem Levshinov.
We'll see. It's early, but I got to hit my daily sim lottery on Tankathon. We'll see where we land.
Okay, while you do that, I'll
It's
say...
already done. The San Jose Sharks have the first overall pick.
Good for them. They could use some good young players. Maybe everyone could stand them. There was a bad moment post-game for the Bruins last night. Sean, David Pastrnak was asked about Morgan Geekie and playing with Morgan Geekie, and here it is.
How impressive is that pass from Morgan, and how do you think his game has grown over the season?
Yeah, it's been so much fun to watch, honestly. And obviously, you play together for a while. You will be able to find chemistry. Finally, learn how to say chemistry, right? That's it. Chemistry. So it's
Rest in peace, the Boston Bruins.
Why?
David Pastrnak. Do you know about this?
No.
David Pastrnak always said chemistry.
Yeah.
Yes, he would say some of his hallmarks were chemistry, and instead of like I said, he would say how I said. And that is, of course, charming English second language stuff. But Pastrnak, long into being fluent in English, has said chemistry, and that's just so much cooler than saying chemistry. And now he's sold out. All the Bruins magic is gone. Marchand's gone. Bergeron's retired. Rasky's gone. Chara is long gone. Even adorable young David Pastrnak, who it seems like just yesterday he was falling down all over the ice in training camp. Now he's speaking like just any other fucking asshole.
I mean, he has not looked like young David Pastrnak in a while. So I feel like, I don't know. He's using this season as a learning opportunity, both on and off the ice. That's my spin.
Okay. Sabres hottest team in hockey have won 5 of 6. Congratulations, Sean.
They're so good.
Tage is going to get his Tage is at 39.
Tage is
second
so
40-goal
crazy.
season in 3 years.
And that's one of the few things that have gone right. Like, I think that was coming into the season, he needed Tage to kind of show that he was the Tage from the year prior, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of done that. And all of the Jack Quinn playing very, very well. JJ Peterka playing very, very well. James Reimer's the best goalie on the team, which is not a good thing. But he's been playing well. Like, it's a good team, unfortunately. And it's the same thing that happened. It happened the last couple of years. They play good enough hockey for long enough stretches where they're like, we got it. It's all here. And then they don't do anything, and then it doesn't work out for whatever reason. But that being said, I think they do have it, and it's all there.
That is the Sabres
season.
MO, is that they are bad and good at the most annoying times.
Solutions in the room, I would
Solution
say.
is in the room. They just need to change their assistants. Like, they're such a good 5-on-5 team. They need to change their assistants, and they need Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen or Devin Levi, I guess, to be like a legitimate number one goaltender, because Devin Levi's been that in the AHL, and UPL has just not been good this year.
Chat, when I was listening to players that are gone for the Bruins, multiple people stop saying, and Mitchell Miller is gone. Leave Mitchell Miller out of this. Jesus. He wasn't going to save it. What's he doing?
All right.
No reaction.
Let's get to a slate grade.
No, let's not. That pass from JJ Peterka last night, second best pass of the night. Unbelievable.
Yes. I mean,
that was the ball. That's just fucking confidence in your bag.
And that's the thing that drives me crazy is that they clearly have like really good players. Like, when they're playing good hockey, they look like a team that can beat anybody. It's just that they spent 2 months playing the worst hockey in the league. And it's tough because you heard it from Kevin Adams and Lindy Ruff when they spoke to season ticket holders, I think last week. Like, they're kind of already using, in a weird way, that losing streak as an excuse, being like, if that shit didn't happen, we'd be in a pretty good spot. And I agree, but also that shit did happen.
If it weren't for that third of the season where we didn't win any games, I think that we'd be really, really good.
Like, it did happen.
How many times are you going to have that conversation where it's like, if they weren't so bad for this chunk, they could have been good?
Yeah, you're going to have it until they have a season where they don't have a chunk like that. And it just happens every year. The thing is that they usually also pair that with a chunk like they're having right now, where they're playing some of the best hockey in the league.
Unfortunately, you got to count all 82 games.
They all count, and it all ends with them missing the playoffs.
I've got the Sabres in the playoffs next year, so that's just something to stick in your blunt and smoke it. Let's do a slate grade really quick. We have but 5 games. The Wild at the Rangers. Ooh, the Wild at the Rangers in a bowl of who? Let me think. Wild at Rangers. I'll tuck it away for later. Capitals at Hurricanes in a Dmitry Orlov Bowl. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern, as is that Wild and Rangers game. Panthers at Maple Leafs. That is going to be... There's no necessarily implications there, but I want to see the Panthers on the second night of back-to-back. Lost a tough one to the Canadians last night.
I mean, the implication is that could be a first-round matchup.
They're also, are they not jockeying both of these teams for first place in the Atlantic? You've got, separated by 1 point. They're both chasing the... Oh, no, I'm sorry.
2 points.
Separated by 2 points. So there's some implications there. Avalanche at Blackhawks. That'll be good. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Blackhawks trying to stay kind of fun late in the season. And then the Kraken at the Canucks. Canucks just need the points. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. This one is an A-, but A lot of watchable stuff. Honestly, I'm going to be focused on Capitals, Hurricanes, Panthers, Maple Leafs, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to get tucked tonight.
It's a little front loaded.
Yeah, I think that I might just kind of cruise into the evening.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The Panthers Maple Leafs is as pointed out in the chat, it is an Oliver Ekman-Larsson revenge game as well as an Anthony Stolarz revenge game.
Hell yeah. Wild Rangers, by the way. You have Marian Gaborik, Eric Stahl, Matt Zuccarello, Cam Talbot, Peter Sikora.
Ooh, love that.
The top five.
Gabo Bowl.
Always love that.
Carson Soucy Bowl.
Oh, yes, a Carson Soucy Bowl, of course. Okay. That's an A-. That's an easy A-. But this show is an absolute blast. I don't regret all the stuff that we missed because we had to talk about that piece of Utah Hockey Club merch. It's a long season.
That was
big things.
The thing that I wanted to talk about the most, and I didn't even know that it happened.
We have a show to do today.
Mid-show, and I was like, this is all I want to talk
about.
I
forgot to put this in this show. And that was the whole show. What other show you know that does that? Probably every podcast.
Yeah, most of them.
But that's your show for today. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube and following us across all of the social places. We've got some great clips of Zach Hyman that are starting to head out into the interwebs. You can also watch the full conversation, which, yes, after a marathon technical nightmare, there is an edited, clean, cool, bells and whistles loaded Zach Hyman conversation on YouTube, so make sure you are subscribed.
Everybody in the YouTubes, please comment. Thank you, DJ, for the Zach Hyman interview because he literally spent all day yesterday piecing that thing together from one computer to another. So an absolutely admirable effort.
Thank you very much for saying that. It's very nice of you. That actually is what happened. I didn't do anything else. At 11:56 p.m. was when the first kind of normal edit was able to get off of a computer.
That's
horrible.
Outrageous. I would not be here today if I were you. So thank you very much. Everybody in the chat, say thank you. And also, if you're here, please hit the like spike. That is the thumbs up button right below the video player. Hammer that like button. Pimp that shit. Also, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that as well. And if you're on audio, you can give us 5 stars. You can give us a nice little review. All of that stuff is appreciated. We love you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.